Hi, welcome to section 2, creating a custom Angular service. In this section, we're going to create some set and get methods with a custom service. Then we're going to define the input and outputs. And then we're going to look at how we can share data between components. So welcome to the first video in section 2, set and get methods. In this video, we're going to create a new service with its own data model. And then we're going to create a get method and a set method. So if you fire up your application with ngserve, this is how we left the app in section 1 with our log service. In this section, we're going to create a weather service and some weather components, because further down the line we'll be creating a weather application. Let's first define what our weather data objects should look like. So head into your IDE. In our shared folder here, we can create a model. So a new file, and we'll call that weather.model.ts, that's the convention. And in here we have to define what properties our weather object is going to take. So first of all we do that by exporting a class. And we'll call that weather. And I think we're going to need an ID, a date, a city, a temperature, a forecast, and perhaps a home property so a user can set the home city. So I'm just going to copy and paste this model in here. You can either pause the video or get the code from GitHub and just add that to your object. And next, as we created our mock logs data, we also need to create some mock weather data. So we can duplicate the mock logs, and we'll call it mock weather. And we'll change logs to weather, and I'm going to paste in some data I've already created. It'll be too long for me to type that out. So you see here each one has an ID, a date, a city, a temperature, a forecast, and a home. And I've just created some data in there, so you can pause this video and copy it, or you can create your own data. Or just go to the file in GitHub and copy and paste it in. So the next thing we need to do is create our weather service. So if you remember, you go into your terminal and you type a command ng, G for generate, S for service, and then the service name. So open up your terminal or command line. And you want to navigate into your application and your shared folder. And that's going to go ahead and create all the files that you need. So head back into your IDE. And here we can see we have our weather service and our spec file, which is our test file. So just like in our login service we've created a get logs, we need to create a get weather method. So first of all we need to import our data. And then create a get weather method. And as with the log service, we'll simply return this imported weather. So now any component can inject this service and then get all the weather data they need. We might also need a method to set the weather. So let's go ahead and create a method where we can simply push a new weather object onto this array. So let's create our set weather. And that's going to take in a weather object. And that's going to be of type weather. Now we created a weather model. So we now need to import this model to ensure that the weather object that comes in is of this type. Otherwise reject it. So of course we need to import that. And then we can simply push this weather object onto our array in our mock data. Now, in the real world, we won't have mock data. We'll be working through the internet and getting data through an API. And we're going to look at that further down the line. But for now, here's our simple get and set methods. In the next video, we're actually going to use these methods by creating some new components, some weather components. So in this video, we've created a new service in the data model. We've also created our set and get methods.